Do you ever feel like you're doing everything right? Eating foods you've been told your whole life are good for you, maybe even labeled as healthy, but your blood sugar numbers just aren't where you'd like them to be. It's incredibly frustrating, isn't it? You make an effort. You choose things that seem wholesome, but there's a hidden truth that many popular foods, especially ones we seniors tend to rely on, can be secret saboteurs when it comes to managing blood sugar levels. It feels unfair, like the rules changed without anyone telling you. But the good news is, once you know what to look for, you can make simple swaps that have a big impact. In this video, we're going to uncover 5 common foods that often masquerade as healthy, but can quietly send your blood sugar soaring. Understanding these can be a game changer for your energy, your long-term health, and your peace of mind. Watch to the end for something that will surprise you. Let's start with a food that many of us reach for, especially for a quick breakfast or snack, because it's often promoted as being full of probiotics and good for digestion: yogurt. Now, plain, unsweetened yogurt, particularly Greek yogurt, can be a fantastic choice. It's high in protein, which helps you feel full and doesn't cause a rapid blood sugar spike. But the problem isn't with the yogurt itself. It's what often gets added to it. I'm talking about those small tubs of flavored yogurt you see lining the dairy aisle. The ones bursting with fruit flavors, or maybe even claiming to be light or low fat. While the front of the package might look appealing, if you turn it around and look at the nutrition label, you'll often find something surprising, maybe even shocking. These little containers can pack as much sugar as a dessert. Think about it. You grab a small cup of strawberry or vanilla yogurt thinking you're making a healthy choice. It tastes sweet, creamy, and convenient. But that sweetness usually comes from added sugars, things like sucrose, high fructose corn syrup, or even fruit concentrates that are just another form of sugar without the fiber of the whole fruit. A single small container, maybe 5 or 6 ounces, can easily contain 15, 20, or even more grams of added sugar. To put that in perspective, that's like adding 4 or 5 teaspoons of pure sugar to your otherwise healthy yogurt for someone trying to manage blood sugar. This can cause a significant and rapid rise. You might be thinking, but it has fruit in it. And yes, some do contain a bit of fruit puree or pieces, but often not enough to provide significant fiber. And that fruit is swimming in a sea of added sugar. The combination of the natural sugars in the fruit, even a little, plus the large amount of added sugar, means your body gets a rapid influx of glucose. Because the fat is often reduced in these light versions, there's less to slow down the absorption of that sugar, leading to a quicker and higher blood sugar spike compared to eating plain yogurt with a little actual fruit mixed in yourself. Imagine your bloodstream is like a calm river. When you eat protein and fiber, it's like adding stones to the river. They slow the flow. When you consume simple sugars, especially without much fiber or fat, it's like opening a dam. Suddenly, there's a flood. And for your body, that flood is a rapid increase in blood glucose, requiring a surge of insulin to try and bring it down. Over time, this constant roller coaster can make it harder for your body to manage blood sugar effectively. So, what's the healthier alternative? It's simple. Really, switch to plain, unsweetened yogurt. It might not taste like dessert initially, but you get used to it. Then, you can add sweetness and flavor control. Stir in a few fresh berries: strawberries, blueberries. Raspberries are great because they're lower in sugar and high in fiber. A sprinkle of nuts or seeds for healthy fats and fiber. Or even a tiny drizzle of pure maple syrup or honey if you need a touch of sweetness. But you'll use far less than what's in the pre-flavored versions. This way, you get all the benefits of yogurt: the protein, the calcium, the probiotics, without the hidden sugar load. It's a simple swap, but it can make a significant difference in keeping that blood sugar river flowing calmly instead of flooding. Now, staying with drinks. Let's talk about something else many of us grew up thinking was the epitome of health. Often found on breakfast tables everywhere: fruit juice. We're not talking about sugary drinks or sodas here. We're talking about 100% pure fruit juice, like orange juice, apple juice, grape juice, cranberry juice, the kind that says 100% juice right on the carton. Surely that's good for you. Right. It comes from fruit. It has vitamins. And yes, it does contain some vitamins, like vitamin C. But when fruit is turned into juice, something crucial is removed: the fiber. Fiber is the unsung hero when it comes to blood sugar management. It's the part of the plant that your body can't fully digest. And it does incredible things. When you eat a whole piece of fruit, say, an apple, the fiber in the skin and the flesh creates a matrix that traps the fruit's natural sugars. As this fiber-rich apple travels through your digestive system, the sugars are released slowly, gradually entering your bloodstream. This leads to a gentle rise in blood sugar, which your body can handle more easily. But when you juice that apple, all that beneficial fiber is left behind. What you're left with is essentially a glass of sweet liquid, the natural sugars from the fruit, now highly concentrated and stripped of the fiber that would slow their absorption. Drinking a glass of apple juice is like injecting those fruit sugars directly into your bloodstream. They hit your system very quickly, causing a rapid and often high blood sugar spike, similar to drinking a sugary soda, even though it's natural sugar from fruit. The delivery method makes a huge difference. Your body doesn't distinguish between added sugar and natural sugar when it comes to how quickly it hits your bloodstream if there's no fiber to slow it down. Think about how many oranges it takes to make one glass of orange juice. It's usually several. You wouldn't sit down and eat 3 or 4 oranges in one go, but you can easily drink a glass of juice made from that many oranges. You're getting the sugar equivalent of multiple pieces of fruit in a concentrated, easy-to-consume form, without the bulk and fiber that would normally fill you up and slow things down. This is why fruit juice, even 100% juice, can be a significant contributor to blood sugar problems, weight gain, and even fatty liver disease over time, precisely because it bypasses the body's natural sugar handling mechanisms that rely on fiber. Many people have this habit of drinking a glass of juice with breakfast, thinking it's a healthy start to the day. For someone managing their blood sugar, this can set them up for a difficult morning, potentially leading to a crash later on and contributing to that blood sugar roller coaster we talked about. While juice might be okay in very small quantities occasionally for some people, for most seniors, especially those watching their sugar levels, it's much better to eat the whole fruit. You get the vitamins, the minerals, the antioxidants, plus the crucial fiber that helps manage blood sugar, keeps you feeling full, and is good for your digestion. If you want a drink, water is always the best choice, or perhaps unsweetened tea or coffee. Trading that morning juice for a glass of water and enjoying a whole piece of fruit instead is another simple but powerful change. Now that we've discussed sneaky sugars in things like yogurt and juice, let's move on to another category of foods that often trip people up, things we might snack on or add to meals. Continuing our look at seemingly healthy foods that can sneakily raise blood sugar, let's talk about something often recommended as a quick, portable snack: dried fruit. You might have a little bag of raisins, dried cranberries, or apricots handy, thinking you're making a healthy choice. It's fruit, after all. And yes, dried fruit does retain some of the nutrients and fiber from the fresh fruit it came from. However, the key difference is the concentration of sugar and the lack of water. When fruit is dried, the water is removed, which shrinks the fruit considerably, but the natural sugars remain and are now packed into a much smaller, denser package. This means that ounce for ounce, dried fruit contains significantly more sugar and calories than its fresh counterpart. For example, a cup of fresh grapes has about 23 grams of sugar and some water and fiber to help fill you up and slow down absorption. A quarter cup of raisins, which is roughly the dried equivalent of that cup of grapes, has about 30 grams of sugar. And it's much easier to overconsume dried fruit because it's small, and you can eat a lot quickly without feeling full due to the lack of water. because the sugars in dried fruit are so concentrated and the water is gone. Even with some fiber present, they can still be absorbed fairly quickly, leading to a blood sugar spike, especially if you eat more than a very small portion. Many dried fruits also have added sugar, especially things like dried cranberries, which are naturally quite tart, or glazed fruit mixes. So, you're getting concentrated natural sugar plus added sugar. Think about trail mix. It often contains dried fruit alongside nuts and seeds. While the nuts and seeds offer protein and healthy fats which are good for slowing sugar absorption, if the trail mix is heavy on dried fruit, you could be getting a significant sugar hit without even realizing it. Or maybe you sprinkle dried cranberries on your salad or oatmeal. A small sprinkle might be okay, but a generous portion adds a surprising amount of sugar. For seniors, who may have slower metabolisms or be more insulin resistant, these concentrated sugars from dried fruit can be particularly problematic. While dried fruit is definitely better than candy, it's not the same as eating fresh fruit when it comes to blood sugar management. If you enjoy dried fruit, the key is portion control. Think of a serving size as a small handful, maybe 1/4 cup at most, and preferably one without added sugars. Better yet, snack on fresh fruit. A whole apple, pear, or a handful of berries will provide more volume, more fiber, and fewer concentrated sugars for the same amount of calories. It satisfies your sweet craving while being much kinder to your blood sugar. Moving on. Let's tackle another category that's often marketed with health halos: packaged low-fat baked goods or cereal bars. These often appear in the healthy or natural sections of the grocery store. You see phrases like low-fat, made with whole grains, or contains real fruit. This sounds promising, especially if you're trying to cut back on fat or eat more fiber. However, just like with the flavored yogurt, reducing fat often means adding something else to make the food palatable, and that something is usually sugar. When manufacturers remove fat from a product, they often replace it with sugar, and sometimes refined carbohydrates, to maintain the texture and flavor that consumers expect. That low-fat muffin or cookie might have less fat than its regular counterpart, but it can have just as much, if not more, sugar. And even if it contains some whole grains, if sugar is high on the ingredient list, your blood sugar is likely to react just as strongly. Cereal bars or granola bars are another common example. They're marketed as a convenient breakfast or snack, often showing images of fruit and grains. But many of these bars are essentially candy bars in disguise. They are often bound together with syrups like corn syrup, brown rice syrup, or agave syrup, and contain dried fruit, as we just discussed, a concentrated source of sugar, and sometimes chocolate chips or other sugary additions. Even bars labeled healthy or natural can have ingredient lists where various forms of sugar appear multiple times: sugar, brown sugar, honey, maple syrup, fruit juice concentrate, maltodextrin, etc. Eating one of these bars, while convenient, can lead to a rapid rise and fall in blood sugar, leaving you feeling hungry again soon after. This isn't conducive to maintaining stable energy levels or managing your weight, let alone blood sugar. The whole grains they contain are often processed or combined with so much sugar that their blood sugar stabilizing benefits are negated. Instead of relying on packaged bars or low-fat baked goods, consider alternatives. For a quick breakfast, plain yogurt with berries and nuts is excellent. For a snack, reach for a piece of fresh fruit, a handful of nuts, or some vegetable sticks with hummus. If you enjoy baking, try making your own muffins or quick breads using less sugar, more fiber like whole wheat flour or oats, and healthy fats like nuts or seeds. When you control the ingredients, you control the impact on your blood sugar. It takes a little more effort, but the payoff for your health is significant. Checking ingredient lists and nutritional information is key here. Don't be fooled by health claims on the front of the package. Finally, let's look at another breakfast staple, often seen as a warm, comforting, and healthy way to start the day: oatmeal, specifically instant oatmeal packets. Now, Oatmeal itself, particularly rolled oats or steel-cut oats, is a fantastic source of soluble fiber, which is excellent for heart health and for slowing down the absorption of sugar, helping to stabilize blood sugar levels. But those little individual packets of instant flavored oatmeal, they often tell a different story. Convenience comes at a cost, and in the case of instant flavored oatmeal, that cost is often added sugar and sometimes reduced fiber compared to less processed oats, just like flavored yogurt. These packets are designed for taste and speed, and that often means pre-sweetening them generously. A single packet of flavored instant oatmeal, apple cinnamon, maple brown sugar, peaches and cream, can contain anywhere from 10 to 15 grams or even more of added sugar. Plus, because it's instant, the oats are often more finely processed, which means they are digested and absorbed more quickly than coarser cuts like steel-cut oats. This combination of added sugar and faster digestion means instant flavored oatmeal can cause a quicker and higher blood sugar spike than traditional oatmeal. You might think, but it says it's a good source of fiber. And it might be. But is the benefit of a few grams of fiber outweighed by the large dose of added sugar often? It's not. Starting your day with a sugary breakfast can set you up for energy crashes and sugar cravings throughout the morning, making it harder to make healthy choices later in the day. It's that blood sugar roller coaster again, right when you're trying to start your day off right. Imagine pouring one of those packets into your bowl. You're adding sugar. Before you even think about adding your own sweetener. And while the convenience is appealing, especially on a busy morning, you might be unknowingly contributing to your blood sugar challenges. The healthier alternative here is straightforward: choose plain, old-fashioned rolled oats or steel-cut oats. Yes, they take a few more minutes to cook, but the difference in terms of blood sugar impact is well worth it. Cook a batch of steel-cut oats on the weekend and reheat portions during the week. Or use microwave-safe containers for rolled oats if speed is essential. Then, instead of relying on pre-mixed sugar, add your own healthy toppings after cooking. You can use a small amount of fresh or frozen berries which heat up beautifully, a sprinkle of nuts or seeds, a dash of cinnamon which may even have some blood sugar benefits, or a tiny drizzle of pure maple syrup or honey if needed. This way, you control the amount of sugar and boost the fiber, protein, and healthy fats with your toppings, creating a truly blood sugar-friendly and much more satisfying breakfast. So, we've talked about flavored yogurts, fruit juices, dried fruits, packaged low-fat baked goods and bars, and instant flavored oatmeal. These are all foods that, while often seen as healthy or convenient, can be surprisingly high in sugars that cause blood sugar spikes, especially for seniors. Remember, the key isn't to be afraid of food, but to be aware of what's truly in it. It's about looking beyond the marketing claims and understanding how different types of carbohydrates, sugar, and fiber affect your body. Those flavored yogurts, while tasty, are often loaded with added sugar that cancels out the benefits of the yogurt itself. Fruit juices, even 100%, remove the crucial fiber that makes whole fruit so much healthier for blood sugar. Dried fruit concentrates sugar in a small, easy-to-overeat package. Packaged, low-fat baked goods and cereal bars often swap fat for sugar and refined grains, leading to a quick sugar hit. And instant flavored oatmeal, while convenient, typically comes preloaded with sugar, undermining the natural goodness of the oats. Making small changes in these areas can truly make a significant difference in your energy levels, your mood, and your long-term health. It's not about deprivation. It's about making informed choices that support your well-being. Choose plain yogurt and add your own fruit. Drink water instead of juice. And eat whole fruit. Snack on nuts or fresh fruit instead of dried fruit. Opt for homemade or less processed breakfast and snack options where you control the ingredients. These aren't drastic overhauls. They are simple swaps that put you back in control. Don't feel discouraged if you've been regularly consuming these foods thinking they were healthy. You are not alone. This information isn't always widely known, The important thing is that you're learning now, and you have the power to make changes moving forward. Every small step you take towards choosing whole, unprocessed foods and being mindful of hidden sugars is a step towards more stable blood sugar, more consistent energy, and feeling better overall. Remember, small changes can make a big difference to your health and happiness. What did you find most surprising from this list? Are there any foods you regularly eat that might be secret sugar sources? Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. We can learn so much from each other, each. If you found this information helpful, please give this video a like. It helps us reach more people who could benefit from these tips. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more simple, practical advice to help you live your best life at every age. Thank you for watching, and keep taking wonderful care of yourself.